Hello and welcome, my name is Mina Shamali, and in this video I'll be demonstrating Audurity's TS1 Transient Shaper plugin. A Transient Shaper is a handy little device that allows you to reshape the attacks and sustains of transient hits, such as those found in drum tracks or anything tonal of a percussive nature. And TS1's got a couple of cool tricks up its sleeve, so we'll have a look at it and see how it works with a musical example. First up, let's play the example with everything bypassed so we can hear what we're working with. Here we go. So it's a bit of a quirky, weird combination of instruments. I like it. And as you can see, we've got some electronic drums coupled with some acoustic drums. So let's solo the acoustic drums and work on those for a minute. So it's a pretty cool sound. We'll turn on TS1, and before we get into the transient shaping, let me demonstrate the soft clip, which is on by default. This is basically a gentle tape saturation. It's pretty subtle. Since it's on by default, thought I'd show it to you first. I'll put the blend at 100%, so we're only hearing the effect. I'll put the output up a little bit and the input up a little more. And first, I'll bypass the effect and then turn it back on so you can see exactly what it's doing. So it's ever so subtle, it's ever so gentle, but it's there, given a tiny little push. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's double click to reset these parameters. And your central two parameters are going to be your attack gain and your sustain gain, depending on which one you want to emphasize more. So let's say we want to tighten up these drums so that they're more cohesive with the electronic drums. We'll be turning down the sustain and turning up the attack, and this transient size control allows you to tighten it up or loosen it up even more and have a lot more control over your final sound. So let's do this. And as you can see, you can do the blend control here to mix it in with the original sound. I'm pretty non-conservative with it, but to each their own, and it always depends on your mix and your context. So let's put it back in with the electronic drums. I'll bypass it first and then turn it back on so you can see how we've tightened it up and made it more cohesive. So that's pretty cool that we can do that. Now suppose we want to go for the opposite effect. We want to contrast the acoustic drums with these electronic drums and emphasize their ring out a lot more. We'd be doing the opposite. We will be turning up the sustain, turning down the attack, and again playing with the transient size. So put the blend back at 100% and press play. And here we go. And let's put it back with the electronic drums so you can hear the difference. I'll bypass it, then turn it back on. So there you go. There's a lot that can be done there both ways. Now, one thing I'm really interested in is how these parameters make the drums interact, or any track interact with other effects like reverb and delay. So let me turn it off here. Let me turn the reverb back on, and I'll add the reverb send. So first, let me just play it without the transient shaping. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a reverb here. Now, I've got a couple of different presets. The first one is the emphasized attack, and the second one is the emphasized sustain. And see the difference in how it interacts with the reverb. So So that's pretty cool that it's not just limited to the transients, it also extends to how much you can interact with the other effects. So that is pretty cool. Now, let's get back to our variable preset here. And the other effects, or the other parameters we're looking at, are the sidechain and frequency for the attack and sustain, respectively. So basically, sidechain has two different modes. It chooses between two different filter paths. When it's switched up, it affects the final processed mix. That's what it works on. And when it's switched down, it works on the transient detection as to which frequencies contain the transients that you are trying to detect and shape. So let me put the blend back at 100%. And I'll put the sustain down and the attack up. And let me just turn off the reverb for now. And with the sidechain up, we're working on the final signals. So have a listen to how the frequency changes. And with the blend, you can bring it back in to with the original signal and start just bringing out more of the post-processed snare, or more of the kick, or more of the toms, or more of the hats. So with it turned down, we'll be working more on the transient detection. Are we detecting more of the kick hits, or the snare hits, or the hi-hats? That kind of thing. So let me put the blend back up and work on those frequencies. So I hope you can hear the difference there. Now, we can do the same for the sustains. So let's emphasize the sustains. And have a listen to, with it switched up, which is the post-processed sound and the frequency response to that. And switch it down, which is the transient detection. As you can see, it started, the higher you go up there with the sustains, the less it's actually doing anything, because you're getting away from where the ring of the drums is. So yeah, last but not least, type A and type B. So type A here, we've got is your default transient shaping. Type B applies a reverse volume envelope to negative gain values. So let's put things back where they were. And over here, you click it to change it to type B. And let's hear to what it does to a negative gain value in the sustains. So it sounds a bit weird, but why would you want to do that? The blend control is your friend. So it introduces a bit of a pumping effect without affecting the transients as much. And if you want to hear it in the opposite direction, with the attacks down, which can be a pretty cool effect to have. So there you have it. You can really affect the mix in a variety of different ways and a variety of different musical results. So we hope you enjoy TS1, and we'll see you later.